Well, I thought I'd bring you along for a little walk and talk in the woods today. Maybe change it up, do things a little different. Oh, mostly just getting out here and seeing what's going on. You guys ready for a lockdown? Because if your state and where you live is not locked down already, chances are it's going to happen soon. I looked this morning, believe there's only 10 states that have no restriction whatsoever. And then about that many or so that has some level of restrictions. And then the rest was under, mostly mandatory, some level of mandatory restrictions. So it's coming. We've been talking about it. Shouldn't be any surprise. I mean, you lived through the first wave and the first set of lockdowns, and while the numbers are way worse than they were back in the spring, so we might as well lock everything down again, right? And what's that going to do to things like food? Oh, already getting a lot of reports on that. I've seen a lot of people talking about how the store shelves are emptying fast. Saw one guy post some pictures that he'd gone to the grocery store. It looked like a Walmart. He'd gone to the grocery store a day or two earlier, and he claims that the shelves looked normal, full of food, toilet paper. And then he came back and everything was gone. It was empty. People are starting to panic buy. And they're going to do that. Let me adjust my mic. This may sound scratchy to you. I hope not. You guys like my tiny little vest? I can't find mine, so this is one of the kids. I look like either a very large man or, well, I'm a pretty good sized guy. But anyways, whether or not there is an actual shortage of food and supplies, as we've said, doesn't matter so much. The fact is people are going to panic, and they're going to panic buy stuff, and it's going to dry up real quick. There could also be more shutdowns of certain businesses and supply chains because of the dangerous and deadly disease that's spreading all over the country. I think, this is just a personal opinion. I guess I'm going to turn around and go back. Kind of came the wrong way. I think that the media is probably growing tired of all the election stuff, because they don't really want you to think about it too much more and too hard. They want you to just believe what they tell you because they're the experts and that they've called this, and stop listening to anything else. So I think that more and more over the next few days, we're probably going to see a lot more in the news, specifically about the ever-increasing case count and all that kind of stuff. So, if you haven't gotten yourself ready, which you should have, you've had plenty of time, you better hurry up and do it. I think that the panic buying has already started in some areas, and it's going to get worse. Man, it's so bright out here, glaring off of me. Can't hardly see where I'm going. You guys seen the video that's going all over the internet with Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister? Yeah, for those of you that still haven't bought into this whole Great Reset and New World Order and Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030, you think we're all crazy conspiracy theorists. Well, they're being pretty open about it. They're not hiding anything. They're not using any code words or anything. They're just flat out saying, I got the clip, it's 30 seconds long. I'll go ahead and play it.
Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs. Canada is here to listen and to help. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
What do you think about that? Agenda, the 2030 agenda, we have to take advantage of COVID-19 because of the Great Reset and push forward our plan to reset society. If you ain't believing it, I don't know what to tell you. Share it around with your friends and family, because there's still a lot of them that think it's all hokey-pokey conspiracy jargon and stuff. These guys and gals they're quite open about it, aren't they? They're very brazen. There's no subliminal messages going on. They're just right out in the open. And that's what they want. They want us to be panicked, because the plan is really only going to work if everyone in the world is terrified because of this deadly disease spreading around. So they're going to openly welcome masking mandates, and they're going to openly welcome lockdowns, and most importantly, they're going to openly welcome this new virus vaccine for the new vaccine for this virus. I'll spit it out here in a second. If you want to know my thoughts on that and Operation Warp Speed, you can go over to my Patreon page. I just released a video on the Operation Warp Speed and my opinions of it. You better be ready with food. You know, we have to resist this. We have to be ready for it. We have to resist it. Another YouTube channel, Viking Preparedness, and I hadn't watched one of his videos in a very long time, and surprisingly, it popped up in my news feed, so I watched it. And I agree with what he had to say. He was saying, hold on a second, I'm getting into the thick stuff now. He was asking all of you out there that are wanting to go off and fight, which we've talked about that here on this channel. What are you going to fight against? Who are you fighting? Who's on the other side of the battle lines? I mean, you know, you're all going to say, well, you know, globalists and the left and the bankers and Antifa and stuff. But it's not like that. There aren't those kind of battle lines. It's going to be difficult. You need to be prepared to defend yourself and prepared to stand your ground, but also to take care of your own, to be as self-sufficient as possible, to not find yourself in a position that you need to go to them for help, because that is what's going to happen. We're seeing several other countries already have either passed or are in the process of passing laws that basically says if you get any type of government benefits, Social Security, veterans, anything like that, welfare, you have to show that you've been vaccinated. If you want to go do business in places, you have to show that you're vaccinated. If you want to go to school, go to hospitals, places like that, you have to be vaccinated. This is the kind of stuff, the tactics that they're going to use. And the only way to really avoid that, the only possible way, is to put yourself in a position that you don't need what they have. Even that isn't 100%, but it's definitely going to give you the edge over other folks. So you got to put yourself in a place that you can take care of yourself and your family, and building the community around you, your little tribe, your little mag, whatever you want to call it, because that's really the only way that you're probably going to beat this. for those of you, I was thinking about this. This was actually going to be my main video today. I think I'll talk about it here, but it wasn't going to be I decided not to make it the main focus of the video. And I was out here walking around, and I got to thinking about a lot of the so-called preppers that, you know, I've heard it said many times, oh, I don't need to stock up on things. I don't need to, you know, grow food. I don't need to, hold on a second, walking over a big tree here, down tree. I don't need to, you know, have a community and raise vegetables and can and all that kind of stuff. Have food stored up. I'm just going to go out in the woods and I'm going to live off the land. I'm a survivalist. I'm going to live off the land. I'm going to hunt deer and eat berries and mushrooms. Okay. I have done a lot of surviving in my lifetime. Trained and just done it for enjoyment and pleasure. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's not as easy as it looks in the movies. Take, for instance, here. I mean, I could probably find enough to keep me alive. But for the next 3 or 4 months, it's going to be some pretty slim pickings around here. And for those of you deer hunters, and it's deer season, which hence me wearing the orange out here in the woods, just in case someone decided to trespass on my property, which would not be a good idea for them. If your plan is to just go out and hunt deer because everything's hit the fan and rule of law is out the window so I can just hunt deer whenever I want to, there's a lot of other people going to be doing that too. People from the city, people from the country, and the deer and wildlife population is going to dry up real fast, guys, real fast. So if your main plan is to hunt deer and fish for trout and largemouth bass and all that, I'm afraid your plan isn't very good. Because if things were to get really bad, all them deer and fish and squirrels and rabbits, they're going to be gone pretty quickly. You need to have a better plan than that. You need to be stocking up now. You should have been stocking up years ago. But you certainly should be stocking up now because you probably don't have much time left. A lot of these stores are already putting the restrictions back on of how much you can purchase. This was the tree I wanted to look at. It's a big old oak tree that came down. It's in good shape. I've got to get back here and cut it up. I heard it a couple of weeks ago come down in a storm. It's a pretty good sized tree. Kroger, Walmart, places like that, they're already talking about putting restrictions on how many items you can purchase. Folks, it's getting real, okay? I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm not trying to terrify you, but it's getting real. It's been real for a long time. A lot of us have known that. Some of us are still denying it. But you're about at the point that you can't deny it any longer if you want to survive this. We're just getting close to that point that you either realize what's going on and take the necessary precautions to get through it, or just join the I Love Government group and trust what they say and do what they say and move on with your happy little life with them. Because the days of taking a little bit longer to get yourself ready for what's coming is just about to the end. I'm not saying it's going to be some Mad Max scenario. I think that's what a lot of people think. They think the options is how it's always been or the utter apocalypse of everything, and that's not how it's going to be. It's going to look just like it is now for the most part. There's just going to be more restrictions. They're going to have a lot more things in place to prevent you from doing this or that. So that's why we get ourselves ready. That's why we have gotten out of Babylon and decided to, well, we've done that. We did that a long time ago, but live out where we can have a better chance of taking care of ourselves. It's not a guarantee, but I can guarantee you this. I may not be able to guarantee people that you'll survive 100% living out like this. But what I can guarantee you is that the odds of me surviving are way, way better than if I lived in Chicago or St. Louis or Dallas or Houston or New York or any of those other places, or even a lot of the medium-sized cities. So, anyways, guys, it's time to start getting ready for yourself and your family and your little community around you. There's a big push. There's a lot of people, even in more mainstream, saying that a war is a-coming. The talks of all the lockdowns and more restrictions and reset and global agendas, it's just all out in your face right now. So you got to get ready for it. It's what we've been telling you for a couple of years now on this channel and many other channels just like this. If you're not doing that, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's kind of, you know, at the point that you either do it or accept the consequences, right? All right, guys and ladies. When I say guys, I mean everybody. I try to say guys and gals, but don't think that I'm singling out you women. You're a very important part of this channel and family and everything else. Get yourselves ready. And I'll catch you in the next video.